it's Suzanne A. Wells, and welcome back to another sales update video. I'm coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia on this beautiful spring day. And in this video, I'm going to show you my sales from February 14th, 2019 to March 13th, 2019. And the purpose of this video is to show you what the average person can do with consistent effort over time. If you are consistent and stick with it over time, you can build a really nice business to generate some income. So let's get into the video and I can show you what I sold.
From my eBay store, Atlanta Golf Shop, which I have set up as a teaching store, so you are free to go and look at what I sell, look at my feedback, all of that. It's all there for you. And here is my feedback page, so you can see that I started selling in March of 2003, so this is my 16th year. I have over 14,000 feedback. Okay, so let's get started. And no, this is not all clothing, but a lot of it's clothing. So hopefully if you are not a clothing seller, you will just have this video playing and listen along because there are other things besides clothing. So first item is a Patagonia dress. Actually, this was kind of an unusual item. I couldn't figure out, is it a dress, is it a skirt, and it's basically one that converts to either one. So I paid $6.30 for this item. I took a best offer of $25. My profit was $16.04 and it sold in 8 hours. And you can see over here on Watch Count, which is a site where you can put in the item number to get more details about it than you can see on eBay. And you can see the view count was only 12 and there were no watchers. Okay, this is a Chico's top, size 3, hot pink. I paid $3.18. Took a best offer of $20. Profit was $14.86 and it sold in 2 months. And it had 46 views and no watchers. And just for the record, I get pretty much everything at Goodwill. I'm willing to pay full price for things because we don't have the outlets here, and I don't know that I would go to them anyway. It seems a little too chaotic for my shopping style. So that's where all of my items are coming from unless I tell you different. Okay, this is a really cute pair of Disney Snow White costume shoes. These were $3. They sold for $24.97. Profit was $18.73 and they sold in 10 days. So you can see there were 29 views with 1 watcher. And something interesting on these, because Disney costume stuff is great to sell. I went to the Disney store to look up comps on this because there weren't any on eBay at the time. And they are on the Disney site, Disney store called Shop Disney, for $22.95, but they did not have this size. So I priced mine a little bit higher. I price my stuff to sell because I have access to so much of it. It's just easier. I'm looking at my bottom line. I want to make money doing this, and I don't want to sit on thousands of pieces of inventory. So I price my stuff to sell. Yeah, I probably could have gotten more, but this sold in 10 days. I got my profit of almost $20 and I was happy, and the person who purchased these for their child was happy. So it's a win for everybody. Okay, this is a Primavera scalloped mug. Now it says antique in the title. That's the name of the pattern. So it's not an antique mug. It's just the name of that pattern is called antique. And I actually bought 3 of these at Goodwill for 99 cents. So with tax, it was $1.06. I took a best offer of $10 and profit was $7.98. I had these for a while, so the listing had accumulated a lot of views, so I ended it and started it over again, and that's when it sold in the 1 month. But I have had these probably about 6 months. So it's showing full price on watch count because when you have a quantity of something, it's going to show the asking price now. But it did show 85 views on that item with one watcher. Also, I went to replacements.com, sorry, Replacements Limited, to do a little research on this item because there weren't any on eBay. And the exact pattern was not available, but these two that were really close and in the same color were priced at $7.89. And so when I got an offer of $10, I'm already coming out ahead of what it's for sale on replacements. So and they had some in stock. So I'm not going to hold out forever for a mug unless I know it's one that is super high profit. Okay, this is a Chico's Traveler size 3 top. I paid $6.35 for this at Goodwill. I took a best offer of $35. Profit was $25.54 and it sold in 3 weeks. And it had 83 views with 2 watchers. 100% cashmere sweater men's club room, that is a Macy's house brand. I paid $6.35 for this. I took a best offer of $35. My profit was $27.18 and it sold in 2 months. Now, I took a little bit lower than I was asking because it had been 2 months, and okay, so offers aren't coming in. I'm going to go ahead and move this item out. So I was happy with that profit of almost $30 on this item in 2 months. And here you can see there were 93 views with no watchers. Here's another Chico's item, size 3 turquoise top. I paid $6.35 for this. I took a best offer of $20, so my profit was $11.78. I did go back in and revise the title because it hadn't been moving. I had had it 2 or 3 months and it wasn't moving, so I tweaked the title a little bit and it sold in 4 days after revising the title. And it had 31 views with 2 watchers. Okay, this is for all you perfectionists out there. Mountain Hardwear men's rain jacket. I paid $7.42 for this. I took a best offer of $55. My profit was $42.62. It sold in 2 weeks. Now, this had some stains on it. So you can see up here in the condition notes, good pre-owned condition, small blemishes on front, see photos. We're going to get to that in a second. But just to show you, view count was 96 views with 3 watchers. And I had put in my listing, small blemishes on front gray section, see photos, very small stains, only noticeable close up. And so here are the photos of those very small stains. And this is just to show you that imperfect items will sell. So sometimes you get home with something and find some imperfections that you didn't see earlier, or you may see them before you buy it and just go for it anyway, which in this case that's what I did. And my profit was $42, almost $43 on this imperfect item. So for you non-believers, give it a try, see what happens for you. This month I also did a lot of cleaning out of stuff I wasn't using of my personal items, so I'm going to show you at the end of the video the total profit I made on stuff that I just had that I wasn't using. And I put a price of 0 on items that I buy for personal use that are just hanging around, and from a tax perspective that is acceptable. So I'm not going to get into all the tax stuff on that, but if you look it up on the IRS site, it will say, personal items, you assign it a value of 0. Okay, so I paid 0 for this because, okay, here's an item that was just in my closet, and from a profit standpoint, I assign a cost of 0. because I did not buy this for resale and I'd had it probably 2 or 3 years. This is a Target brand. So this is also to show you that anything can sell. So the cost on this is zero because it was my own personal item. I took a best offer of $10. My profit was $9.39. It sold in 2 weeks, and it was a bathing suit bottom, and it sold in February. So for the naysayers that think swimwear does not sell, oh yes it does. It sells all year. This had 26 views and one watcher. Here is an item I paid $3 for. This was actually purchased at a consignment store clearance, and it was just costume jewelry. Sold for $29.97 in one day. My profit was $23.60. This had 13 views and one watcher. Okay, this is another item out of my closet that I was tired of looking at. I've had these for probably 3 years. So my cost was zero because it was not purchased for resale. This I took an offer of $10. I made $9.25 profit. It sold in 2 months. 110 views with one watcher. This is an item that I also paid zero for. Someone gave this to me because they were moving and just gave me a whole bunch of stuff they didn't want. And I said, oh, I'll take it. I'll try to sell it. So my cost was zero. I sold this for $20. My profit was $17.84. It sold in 2 days. It is a Hale Bob silk cami set and had 34 views and one watcher. This is a 100% cashmere sweater, size 3X, and this sold for full price of $44.97. I rarely take offers on a sweater, a cashmere sweater that's this size, plus size, because you can get full price on these. So my profit was $33.46. It sold in 2 months. This had 60 views with one watcher. This was a brand I had never heard of, but I looked it up in Goodwill just to see and threw it out there at $59.97. The brand is Subo, Tsubo, size 7 pumps, and I paid $6.35. They kind of didn't get much attention, didn't get many offers, didn't get any offers until this one. So I went ahead and took the $35 offer, making my profit $25.59, and this sold in 2.5 months. These had 148 views with one watcher. Okay, here's a record breaker. This item took 3.5 years to sell because it's a weird size. SAS shoes, size 9.5, and there was an S next to the size, which stands for slim. So I paid $10 for these at an estate sale back in 2015, and I specifically remember the day I bought these because I was working my temporary real estate job where I was helping a realtor with their marketing, and I would find out about estate sales before they were open to the public because we had a lot of clients who were elderly, moving to assisted living, moving to whatever, downsizing, or deceased. So their houses were getting cleaned out. And so one of our clients had this estate sale, and I went there and bought a whole bunch of stuff. So anyway, remember that. These were $10. They finally sold for $45.07. My profit was $33.46, but it did take a while. So that's one thing, I never give up. So these had 271 views. Now, over that 3.5 years, I did end the listing and restart it a few times to try to refresh it, but this was just a weird size. So that's why it took a while. Live and learn on that. Okay, next item is a Free People maxi skirt with a patchwork design. I paid $6.30 for this. It sold for $26 on best offer. My profit was $17.03, sold in 10 days. I went back and forth with the girl on this a little bit because her first offer was like $10, and I'm like, no. And so we countered and went back and forth, but $17 profit in 10 days is acceptable to me. View count on this was 46 with one watcher. This is a cachet tank top shell type thing, beaded with sequins. I paid $6.30 for this. It sold for $28. My profit was $18.01 and it sold in 6 weeks. This had 158 views and 8 watchers. So I don't know what those people were waiting for, but finally it sold. And the same person bought this Coldwater Creek top crochet texture. I paid $3.18. It sold for $25. My profit was $16.24. It also sold in 1 month. This had 353 views with 6 watchers. So I don't know what was going on with these 2 items, but apparently the brand, the size, the style, the color, all those factors. Okay, this is a Banana Republic Heritage line open front cardigan, and I paid $6.35 for this. It sold for $25. My profit was $13.99. Sold in 1 month. This had 76 views with 1 watcher. Okay, this is the sister or girlfriend, I think, of a Hidden Mickey. It's the Shelly Mae Bear. I think it's the girlfriend. And this was given to me by my friend that moved, so my cost was 0. I took a $20 offer. Profit was $18.13, and this sold in 3 weeks. And the Shelly Mays aren't nearly as valuable as the Hidden Mickeys, so I figured for a free item, got a $20 offer, I was going to take it. And it had 107 views with 5 watchers. Okay, this is a men's Under Armour loose gear shirt. I paid $3.18 for this, took a best offer of $15, making my profit $10.56. This sold in 3 weeks. This had 86 views with 2 watchers. This is a Millie of New York sheath dress, and I paid $6.30 for this, sold for $59.97. Making my profit $47.81. This sold in 2 weeks, and I had never found this brand before. It was on my look for list, but finally it popped up in front of me. So learning what to look for will come around and improve your business. Sometimes it just takes a while for those items to show up in front of you, but they will. And this had 284 views with 14 watchers. So I did get some low offers on this, but I held out, and I'm glad I did because I got my full price of $59.97. And I actually bought this on the same day, and it sold almost on the same day, I think like the next day. LK Bennett shift dress. This is a brand out of London, which was also a new brand for me. I paid $6.30 for this. It sold for $59.97, making my profit $45.18. It sold in 2 weeks. This had 162 views with 4 watchers. This was another one of my items that I have had for, I know this was in my closet for like 5 years. Wore it all the time and just got tired of it. White House Black Market open front cardigan. So my cost was 0 since it was my personal item. I just put it up for sale for $14.97 and it sold in 2 months, making my profit $13.76. This had 87 views and 1 watcher. Okay, this is a brand out of the UK called Collectif, and another item that I did not notice defects on until I got it home, but that's okay because it's sold anyway. So you can see there I listed it as new with tag because it was, and under the condition note, new with defects, and explained the defects were a dark round mark and a light diagonal mark on the back. See photos. I paid $6.30 for this. It sold for $25 on best offer in 1 day. My profit was $13.76. So you can see on these photos I had put on the listing, the defects were very slight, but if I can see them, the customer can see them. So they need to be mentioned. Also in the item description, I put that it had 2 small defects, small dark spot on the back near the middle, and light diagonal line on back lower left. Still a beautiful skirt, and if you're going to be sitting all day at the office, who cares? So that worked, and here again, it sold in one day, only had 11 views and 1 watcher. This is a Johnny Was embroidered t-shirt. I paid $6.30 for this. I took a best offer of $45, making my profit $33.47. This sold in 2 weeks. And you can see here there were 207 views and 9 watchers. And let me just tell you that if you're not looking through all the t-shirts, that's where these kind of things are stashed. Even though it's t-shirt material, the embroidery makes it very expensive. Johnny Was is an expensive brand, and that's where I find these, is in with the knit t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts. So the lesson is you're going to find stuff everywhere. So the more you look, the more you're going to find. Okay, this is an Under Armour Cold Gear women's top. I paid $3.18 for this, took a best offer of $15, making my profit $9.85. This sold in 2 months. This is definitely a bread and butter type item. Get it cheap, quick to list, decent profit. Yeah, sure, we'd all like everything to be $30 profit, but that's not going to happen on every single item. So these are kind of your fillers that it keeps your store active with sales, which helps you in search. It helps all of your listings. So if you get too stringent on what you're picking, like I'm only going to pick things where I can make $50 profit, you're not going to have a whole lot of stuff in your store, and you're not going to get sales as often, and it's going to make everything slower. So you want to put in a few of these filler items to keep the sales machine going and help search engine optimization for all of your items. This was a brand I had not heard of called Jewels. This was also out of the UK, and a fun looking nautical striped pullover top. This was $3.18. I took a best offer of $25, making my profit $20.38, and this sold in 2 weeks. This had 71 views and 2 watchers. This is another bread and butter type item, Chico's Travelers, and I paid $3.18 for this top. It sold full price for $19.97, making my profit $14.81, and it sold in 3 weeks. This had 35 views and 1 watcher. Here is a sleepwear brand called Soma, S-O-M-A, and this was a fun open front fleece cardigan, like loungewear type thing, and I paid $6.35 for this. It sold for $29.97, making my profit $16.83. And just a side note here, I had underestimated the weight. I must have been doing a sell similar from another item and didn't update the weight, so I ate it a little bit on the shipping, which is okay. It all evens out. And this item sold in 1 week. It had 12 views and 0 watchers. So very low views on this item, but it sold anyway, and I walked away with almost $17 profit for my time. So that works. This is a Free People top. It was new with tag. I paid $6.35 for this. It sold for $32 on best offer, making my profit $22.18. This sold in about 3 weeks. And it had 41 views and 1 watcher. This is a 100% cashmere sweater, and I paid $6.35 for this. It sold for $25, making my profit $18.64. This sold in about 3 weeks. It had 185 views and 9 watchers. That was a lot of views. Okay, Chico's Travelers again. Size 3 open front cardigan. I paid $6.35. It sold for $39.97. My profit was $27.40. It sold in one day. There were very specific reasons why I picked this item up. It only had 4 views and 1 watcher. If you want to know more about those very specific reasons why I picked that item up, you can come take my Chico's course in the Premium Content Library, where it's an hour of information about selling this brand, what you should leave behind, what to look for, what sells better, what sells faster, all of that great information. So come try that. Okay, this was a bundle of Sony cassette tapes, lot of 8. They were $2. I took a best offer of 15, making my profit $12.13. These sold in about 2 months, and they had 95 views with no watchers. And yes, dead text still sells, so this kind of thing is easy to list and easy to ship. This is a Matilda Jane long skirt. I paid $6.30 for this. Took a best offer of 30, making my profit $19.85, and it sold in 3 weeks. This had 91 views with no watchers. And this is a pair of Allegria shoes. I paid $6.30 for these. Took a best offer of $40, making my profit $28.14. These took about 4 months to sell. You can see from the watch count information here that I restarted them in February. They had been sitting a while and had accumulated a lot of views, so I ended the listing and started it over, which is a good strategy if you've got things that have been sitting a while. Refresh the listing. Don't do relist. You want to do sell similar. You want to change some words in the title, maybe change your pictures around, change some words around in the description, tweak it. See if there's something better you can do to attract more buyers to your listing. So these had 123 views in that 3-week period since I relisted it, and 1 watcher. So I still made $28.14 and just basically refreshed an old listing to try to get it to sell. Okay, this is my biggest sale of the month. I paid $6.35 for this Burberry London 95% cashmere sweater, and it was a front zip cardigan, which is not a rare find, but definitely not as common as a button front cardigan. Whenever you see a zipper put into a cashmere sweater, it's going to be more expensive because that requires a higher level of craftsmanship and skill to add a zipper. So this sold for $149.97. My profit was $123.10, and this sold in 7 days. So here you can see the sale. It had 79 views and 2 watchers. Okay, then I've got an Old Navy long modern Western denim skirt. This was $3.18 at Goodwill. I took an offer of $15. Profit was $9.28. It sold in 5 weeks. This had 127 views with 4 watchers. And finally, we're going to end on this Scrabble letter coffee mug. I paid 80 cents for this. I took an offer of $20. They wanted free shipping, so I accommodated that request to get the item sold. My profit was $8.72. This actually, I had several months, I think about 7 months, and I had recently ended it and started over again because it had so many views. So after I did that, it took 2 months to sell. So you can see it had 82 views and 0 watchers. Now, here are the numbers and some interesting analytical data based on what I saw in my store last month. So here is the overview of everything, all of the items in alphabetical order. If you want to pause the video here and look at that again as far as cost, sale price, and profit on each item, you can go over that again if you like. It was a total of 39 items. My cost for these items was $176.14. Sales added up to $1,220.70. Profit was $899.30, so just shy of $900. Average profit per item was $23.06. So what do I look at here? I look at the fact that it cost $176 to generate $1,200, 900 of which was profit. So that's what you want to look at as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is how is your money working for you? And then profit per item is steadily increasing the longer I do this business. Another way to look at this is if you have unlisted inventory, how much of that money have you spent that is just sitting there not working for you? Because if you do this, if you get it listed, you're going to see sales. So if you need help with that, check out the link below the video. As far as my virtual assistant service, we can help you get caught up, get your items listed, and then you can start seeing the money come in because unlisted inventory cannot sell. Okay, I had 11 items sell at full price, which was 28% of the total items, and 28 items sold on best offer, which was 72% of my items sold on best offer. So this is why I'm such an advocate of best offer. It helps you sell more stuff. Okay, here's something interesting. Items under $25. 21 of the 39 items, which was 54% of them, sold for less than $25. I'm totally fine with that. It cost me $60.72 to purchase those items. Some of them were free, or I'd already had, or were given to me, and that generated $290.81 in profit. So this is to show you that the little things add up. Profit of just shy of $300, that's a lot of money for some people. That could be your car payment. That could be groceries for the month. That could be a lot of things. That could be sending your child to summer camp, paying for dance lessons, your medication, whatever you need it to be. So don't worry that your items are selling for less than $25 because over time, all of this adds up. There were 5 items in the mix that were free to me or that I just had around my house and decided I didn't want, need, or use anymore. And that brought in $68.37 profit. So even me, after this is my 16th year of doing this, I still list items all the time from around my house that I'm not using. And that just adds a little bit more money to the mix. So the takeaways from this video. Every listing counts. Even if you can only do one listing a day, it's going to add up over time. And that's what we're looking at, is the effect on your business over time. Small actions add up over time. Don't worry that you can't list 50 items a day. Most people can't. You know, there's days where your life blows up, your day blows up, you don't even have time to think, and you're not going to have time to list. So even if you can just do one item a day, it's going to add up. Look at the big picture of your business over time. Don't, if you try to do this business too fast, you're going to burn out and you're not going to want to do it anymore. Take it from somebody who's been in this business a long time and come and gone and doing it at different levels. So this is something that you have to pace yourself on. And it just takes time to see the results sometimes. So I love this quote by Aristotle that says, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So that goes along with how you do anything is how you do everything. Just stick with it. Stay the course. Keep doing the best you can. Do the best you can on that day because your best is going to vary from day to day. If you're not feeling well, if you've got issues with your kids, if the weather's bad, whatever it is, your dog is sick, your spouse is driving you crazy, do your best on that day. Just keep going and you will get there. And on that note, I want to give you an update on my premium content library. As of March 13th, 2019, I have 144 videos, 49.5 hours of education. I continue to add videos and courses every single month, so you can come check that out. Also, I am your personal help desk. As a member of the premium library, you get access to me via email whenever you have a question, problem, concern, frustration, whatever. I am there to help you. So I'm just an email away and I will answer within 24 hours. So I hope this has helped you understand a little bit more about what sells and show you that persistence and consistency is the key to this business. You know, running out of the gate, slamming it hard, and trying to list 100 items a day, no one can sustain that. You have to do this in a way that is sustainable so that you don't burn out, because it can be done. I'm living proof that this business can sustain you for a long time and will be there for you in the future to generate income. So, as always, I love your comments. Please subscribe if you have not. And thanks again for watching this monthly update, and I will see you in the next video. Have a profitable and productive day on eBay. Bye.